Hypothetical scenario of my paying off my student loans with an income of $19,500 per year. I'm filming this Friday, 12 April 2024, and I am Tanis Leonhardi, she, her, hers of Seattle. So I did decide to come back because I was like, I've done double the highest salary I've made, a little bit over that. I've done the highest salary I've ever made, like as the income for these hypothetical scenarios, and then 2/3 of the highest income. And I was like, well, if I wanted to like complete the fractions, so to speak, I should do double and I should do half. So here we go. Here I talk through a hypothetical scenario of my paying off my student loans with an annual income of $19,500. This is approximately 1/2 the highest salary I've made to date. Video filmed Friday, 12 April 2024. For the $19,500, I did this calculation mentally. Mental math. I did not use a calculator to calculate $19,500, nor did I use a calculator to check it. Okay, so this is all brain activity without the assistance of an external device. So the highest annual salary I've made, like at the end of the year salary, is approximately $39,000. All right, annual income / employer setup, $19,500 per year. Employers and breakdown. So with my employer of my friend Adam Petey, and he would do $19,500 per year with 4 weeks optional paid time off that does not roll over. Has there been a flurry of texts in the universe to Mr. Petey saying, your friend is poor? Yes. Does that mean he's going to give me a bunch of peat moss? Okay. Okay. And housing, who living with? My soulmate and or soulmates, and again, my soulmate and or soulmates, and especially I think for this repayment, an emphasis being on my soulmate and or soulmates who accept me in the fact that I have not ever made $40,000 per in a single year or more, and I'm over 30 years of age. So somebody who's okay with that and living with me, and somebody who has not historically ever put pressure on me to make that much or more in a year. Like, as in, I'm not successful if I'm not a person making that much money, which should be all my soulmates. Okay. If it's not, that's news to me, and it might not be my soulmate. They might not be my soulmate. Okay, context. Last time I had this much income or more in a year was in 2019, so it's been a bit since I've made this much. How I feel about this salary. It's a lot of money, like for reals. Like lifestyle change. Okay. Taxes. Total income, I decided to go with about 12%. That's $2,340 per year, which would leave a remaining $17,160. Then for student loans, which are currently at about $45,000, and changes as interest accrues / loans are paid off, 25% from salary, so that's $4,875 per year. So the remaining income is $12,285 per year. So it's approximately, potentially, the most I made as a teenager, and that might have been like before taxes were taken out. I might have, or it was like 9,000 as a teenager or something. There was something where I was working a number of jobs in the summer, and I had like a year-round job. And I don't think I ever quite reached this much, but if I did, it might have been like before taxes were taken out. But yeah, so I think possibly in this range, even if it was a few $1,000s less, okay, approximately. Time frame for paying off student loans. So where it's currently at, be approximately 9.23 years at $4,875 per year. If really wanting, the 25% may take longer depending on amount of interest accrued / accruing. So the number one thing I've heard with student loans, and especially kind of at this with this amount being paid off, It's really hard. It takes a few years to get on top of interest, especially if the payments are small. So in that sense, it might a reasonable guess, because the payments are small enough, and interest might take a bit to get on top of it. I would ballpark guess might be about 13 years. Okay. Lifestyle / hobbies during repayment period. So again, if I'm living with my soulmate and or soulmates and I'm very dependent on them, they might be like, let's do student loans, taxes, and then a few little lifestyle things, and yeah, and figure the rest out together, I think. So during repayment period, running in the Heritage Travel Trip series, I would actually, so that's kind of it. Yeah, I actually did a little bit of that for Scotland back in 2019, and I started kind of with getting stuff for each of the trips, and it's like that becomes just, it's running, and there's like adventure planning for this, 2 to 4 week trip each year. I changed the frequency with this one because 9 to 13 years is long enough that I'm like, you know what, maybe I can finish the whole thing by the time student loans are. So, okay, lifestyle change once they are paid off, about the same if I do my Heritage Travel Trip series. Although, if I finish my Heritage Travel Trip series, then that's going to be a huge lifestyle change, because if I'm putting, thousands of dollars to that each year, then figure it out then. But if I include the semi-documented in that initial stage of final filling in, then it might actually be about the same. Yes. Yeah. So, and then YouTube projects and video frequency during repayment and post-repayment. So Heritage Travel Trip series, spacing may be 1 trip every approximately 1 year. If I finish and have time to start on the regions / places currently in semi-documented state and initial final filling in state, start on those. So let's say I do 1 trip every year, and there were 8 initial places / regions on my list, and I've already done 1, so I'm down to 7. So let's say I start that, and it takes me 9 to 13 years, right? Then that's, even if there's a year I don't do one at the beginning or something, that's only 8 years, and there's 9 to 13 approximately. So then I have a number more trips, so I could do the semi-documented state, so Austria and Wales, and then I could start working on Hungary, Sweden, Russia, Croatia, and the Czech Republic. All right. I might not finish everything, but I might be able to get through the 8, the 2, and then the 5. If I'm recalling correctly. I think I am. So that is, which would still leave something, right, for after they're paid off. Even if it took, like, let's say 13 years, even in that case, it would be, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Oh, there would be like, it's a race, okay, without rushing it. So I thought that was actually a pretty fun one. Anything else? I put this under YouTube projects instead of a lifestyle, which is an interesting choice. So I guess it could be kind of both. Is mosque days. Do I want to explore Islam as a religion? So going to mosque, how would I document that? Like, do I do like a before and after? Yeah, that journey, a religious discovery journey, but also just like how to practice. Right? I've gone through phases where I'll pray 5 times a day. But yeah, actually like going to mosque, like, that'd be a project for reals. Right. So that's my hypothetical scenario. My hypothetical scenario, and the title, hypothetical scenario of my paying off my student loans with an income of $19,500 per year. And again, I'm Tanis Leonhardi, she, her, hers of Seattle, and filmed this Friday, 12 April 2020.